Shalom Aleichem Internet, my name is Rabbi Sender Gajzinski, and here is the weekly Torah Byte. This week is Parshat Emor, and in it is a very comprehensive discussion about Shabbat and the holidays. Starting from Shabbat till Pesach, the Sfira to Omer, the Omer count, to Shavuot, to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeret. It's all there in this week's Torah portion. And when you ask most people about their sentiment regarding Shabbat and the holidays, it's a positive one. People enjoy spending a Shabbat or holidays with family and friends around the table, enjoying a wonderful meal, enjoying the spiritual elements of the holiday, etc. And then if you ask people to associate a tense with the holiday, past, present, or future, with a Shabbat or a holiday, most will attribute a past tense to the holiday. What I mean by that is that Shabbat has a sense of nostalgia, or the holidays remind us of biblical or temple times, and we eat old traditional foods, so that the Shabbat or the holidays is a look back to simpler times, even more spiritual times, and we are trying or raises memories of grandparents, etc., etc. What about the idea that equally as true is that Shabbat and the holidays is a look toward the future? And what do I mean by that? We each know that as much as we are living purposeful and positive lives, that our lives can be better. And we work toward that. We try to progress toward living better, more ideal lives. Shabbat is that challenge once a week to break out of our regular routine and to adopt ideals that we would like to see more regularly in our lives. Shabbat is, we don't have to worry about our work, we don't have to worry about our cell phones and emails and faxes. We get to spend more time with family. We get to spend more time pursuing knowledge and information that we maybe have to put on the side when we're too busy doing whatever we have to do to reach whatever deadlines we have to reach. We get to slow down and focus on what's important, so that Shabbos becomes a taste once a week on what a more ideal way of living would look like. The same holds true with the holidays. What is the theme and sentiment of Pesach, Passover? It's not just a look to the past, to remember that we left Egypt 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago. But rather, it's a look toward a future of our own lives that could be more liberated, where the constricting boundaries that we have kind of holding us in place, what happens if we busted a little bit out of them? What happens if we liberated ourselves slightly? What would life feel like if we did that? We get a week of that experience. That's Pesach. Our Sukkot. Sukkot, we leave our homes and we go into a temporary structure called a sukkah. And we challenge ourselves to reprioritize what we consider permanent and what we consider temporary, and maybe shake things up a little bit and put aside unnecessary elements which we have allowed ourselves to sink into the feeling that they're permanent. And we get to try on new stuff to bring a certain amount of forward progress to our lives incrementally by experiencing in a trial basis, almost a 7-day trial. Try a little bit of Pesach on and see how that fits, and maybe incorporate that a little bit more into your regular life. Try a little bit of Sukkot, a foretaste of what your life could be if these ideals were more permanently established. And so, Shabbat, Pesach, and Sukkot are not only a look to the past and what was, but they're a look to the future, a taste of the future of what can be, what should be, and ultimately what will be. About Shabbat, we say it is Zecher L'Maaseh Bereshit. It is a remembrance of the beginning of time, of beginning of creation. But we also say about Shabbat that it's a foretaste of what will be when we reach our goal. The era of Mashiach is also known as Yom Shekulo Shabbat, a day that will be entirely Shabbat, an era that will be entirely Shabbat. Can you imagine that? Now, you'll turn to me and say, Rabbi, yes, but that's not really practical. That's not really, you want to tell me that we'll eventually arrive at a place where we're going to be spending all this time with family, we're not going to be worried about or engaged so much in business, and we will be able to, in a sense, have time to pursue higher pursuits and all that. That's going to be reality? Not going to be kind of something we do one day a week and then quickly have to get back to our regular lives, but that's going to become our regular lives? That does not sound practical or realistic, and it's definitely not going to be something I see in my lifetime. To which I ask you, had I come to you at the end of February of this year and told you that, yes, soon everybody in the world is going to be home with their family for the entire day, and even if they're going to work, they're really going to check into their work virtually, but they're going to be spending all those hours with their family, and nobody is going to be involved in the same rat race rigmarole that right now kind of defines reality. And that will be true across the entire planet. And you would look at me and say, the whole world at home with their family and kind of nobody really commuting to work and all that? The whole world? When you say that's going to happen soon, Rabbi, how soon do you mean? And if I would have told you, in about 2 weeks, you would have thought I was nuts. Well, here we are. Now, unfortunately, it's a result of a devastating disease that we're kind of doing this. But could you imagine what this teaches us? This teaches us that it is possible. It's possible for global change to happen overnight almost. Right now it's happening for unfortunate reasons. But why, in theory, can we not work toward this being true for good reasons, for positive reasons, on purpose? So let's enjoy this Shabbat and ask ourselves, hey, why can't more of this be in my day-to-day life? Why can I not work my life more towards what that era of Mashiach is going to be like? Why can't I work on encouraging others? Why can't I work on helping kind of the world move toward that day when the whole world will be living in a way that is Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.